High water delayed this race by 2 weeks, but the fans have turned out en masse at Evansville, Indiana on a sunny, warm day. Now let's check the lineups for Heat 1B of action on the Ohio River, where the Cairo Choice will be driven by Mitch Evans. Oh Boy Alberto to be chauffeured by George Woods Jr. The Winston Eagle, driven by Larry Lauterbach. Mike Hansen will pilot the whole set Miss Madison. Art Construction to be driven by Steve David.
And Jim, just moments ago, they had an accident as they got ready to launch the Art Construction boat of Stephen David's. There you can see the way it was laying on the trailer there. But amazingly enough, one crew member had a very slight shoulder injury from it, a minor injury. But the boat is on the course and coming around ready to take the start in Heat 1B. I don't know how they did it, but give the crew some credit. They got it back out.
We're about to start. It looks like the Winston Eagle wants lane 1. The Art Construction, the boat we just saw halfway on the trailer, is going to pick lane 2. It'll be followed then by the Old Boy Alberto, whole set Miss Madison, and the outside, it's the Cairo Choice.
And as they come down for the start of Heat 1B, the red boat on your screen to the right, there's the start, and it is Winston Eagle, Larry Lauterbach of Portsmouth, Virginia. He has taken a sizable lead right off the start. His main challenge will probably come from the Old Boy Alberto if it materializes.
Well, that's the prettiest bright red boat I've ever seen. As we've said before, we call it Day Glow, and that's the official name for that boat. Day Glow Red, and they say they're going to have to repaint it because they don't want it to get dull. A couple of races, the sun fades it out. They're going to repaint it every 3 races. Second place boat is the Old Boy Alberto, giving chase down the back chute in the corner number 3, lap number 1 of Heat 1B.
George Woods Jr., the Old Boy Alberto, very consistent on the course this year, and he's been a challenger all the time in every race. And there he is now, coming up on a turbine boat, trying to catch the Winston Eagle. Larry Lauterbach fighting the waves here at Evansville, Indiana, getting a little bit light as he comes down the front straight. But look at this tank plow through the water. The Old Boy Alberto coming up on the outside, trying to close the gap down.
He's stretching that Rolls Merlin engine as fast as he can and as far as he can to try to catch this boat that's just clocked 123.711 miles per hour after 1 lap, and now starts down the back chute of lap number 2 out of 5.
And we heard Chip Hanauer talking about the rough water in that turn. You saw it with the Winston Eagle as she came through. She started to wave the sponsons atop the water. That's where they have to be very careful about the horizon ahead of them. Make sure they keep that horizon where they can see it, because if they don't, the boat's already gone.
Whole set Miss Madison on the outside with Mike Hansen is going to challenge for second. He's really pushing in the corner number 3. The Old Boy Alberto hangs it on the hook now, but up in that rooster tail that you can't see is the whole set Miss Madison, driven by Mike Hansen. Watch as they at the apex, they come down to us. There it is, whole set Miss Madison with a side-by-side battle for second place.
And a lot of the fans here on the banks of the Ohio River get behind that Miss Madison boat because it's owned by the residents, 13,000 of them in Madison, Indiana. And you can bet they are cheering loudly upriver because the whole set Miss Madison has just taken away second place from George Woods Jr. in the Old Boy Alberto. Still in the lead, the Winston Eagle, Larry Lauterbach, 119.008 miles per hour. You know, I know that boat is capable of faster speeds, but Jimmy's holding on to it. There's no sense in ruining things for a later race. There's the Old Boy Alberto down in the water. A little bit too much for the boat today. Some bad luck befalls George Woods Jr.
And Mr. Consistency finally blows an engine after I don't know how many heats. Jim Harvey's boys really prepare. They prepare well. A bad luck for them right now here in Heat 1B. Our leader, the Winston Eagle, driven by Larry Lauterbach, again gets that right sponson up high as he comes down to complete lap number 3.
There's a little battle going on back in third place now for third and fourth place. Cairo Choice is the lead boat on your screen. And right behind him is the Art Construction boat. Stephen David, that's the one that fell on the trailer earlier. But I'll tell you what, whatever happened, it must have happened good. He's running pretty decent out there.
Yes, he is. A lot of times, if you watch the leader gets out, look back in second, third, or third and fourth, you'll see some great boat racing.
And that's what we're seeing here on the Ohio River today. It is Cairo Choice. Mitch Evans now in third place by about 3 boat lengths. That's a great story.
Yes, it is. Father and son ownership. Ed Cooper Sr. from Madison, Indiana. Ed Cooper Jr. from this town, Evansville, Indiana. As we look at our leader coming down with a lap and a half to go, at Heat 1B will be history.
And as you can see, he has gotten off it. He's now into a comfortable ride. He knows he has the lead. All he has to do is keep that turbine engine going to the finish of this race, and he will have the 400 points that he needs to advance and continue on the day. So Larry Lauterbach doing a fine job, and Art Construction, the boat that was dropped down in the pit area, is out there running and still hanging in there. Stephen David. That's another story. They ran for Easter seals last week in Madison, Indiana. They had an opportunity to do some good, and they just certainly did that. And, of course, they got the U.S. Coast Guard along the side of that boat also. Winston Eagle, and I know Steve Woomer and all the crew down in the pit area, very happy to see that boat performing this well on the river.
You said he's taking it easy. Lap number 1, about 124. Now he's running about 108, so you know he's going for a Sunday ride.
He's not going to let anybody time that boat off the shoreline, as he knows Chip Hanauer and Jim Kropfeld and Scotty Pierce and the rest of the guys are all watching him out there to see how that boat's performing, because when they have the draw for the next set of heats, it's liable to be a situation where they will match up against them. And Jim, we ought to point out that that's exactly what they do. They put all the numbers back into a hat, and when they come up to heats 2A and 2B, they will redraw, and who knows who's going to match out.
It's the luck of the draw as he comes off of corner number 4, sliding widely. It is going to be Larry Lauterbach in the Winston Eagle, owned by Steve Woomer out of Seattle. The checker flag is ready, and there's your winner of Heat 1B, the Winston Eagle.
So congratulations to Larry Lauterbach, Steve Woomer, and the crew for a win here today. And how about Holson Miss Madison? A big cheer going up along the banks of the Ohio River for that boat that is based just a little bit north of here in Madison, Indiana. Mike Hansen, the driver. Third place, Cairo Choice, sort of a hometown entry, as Jim told you earlier today, from Evansville, Indiana. The son from Evansville, and Ed Cooper Sr. is, of course, from Madison.
We'll be back with more Budweiser Thunder on the Ohio, the HFC American Hydroplane Series, after this timeout.
Let's take a look at the results from Heat 1B. The Winston Eagle taking first, followed by Miss Madison, Cairo Choice, Art Construction, and Oh Boy, Oberto. Let's go to the pits.
Okay, I saw the start. That was pretty good, but coming off of corner number 4, about the third lap, it looks like it almost got away from you.
Well, it looks that way, Jim. When you slow down, you hit the hard roll as the boat takes a bounce out of the water. It's nothing critical. It looks bad from the shoreline, but the whole boat comes up level, comes back down. The river gets pretty choppy by the second or third lap, and I backed the Eagle down to about 80% of the efficiency of the motor and all. And when I did, the boat started hitting a little harder in the water, and it launches it off. But as long as you stay in the throttle and get the boat on top, it's pretty good out there.
Steve Woomer, it looks like your boat is improving every week. What are you doing?
Well, I'm not doing anything. Jim Lazaro and the crew are doing it all. My job is to have fun. So they're doing their job right, and we're beginning to have some fun, so I must be doing mine right.